Thank you. There's a number of places we could begin. And what we've been doing lately is beginning with some facet, some experiential spectrum, and then kind of eliding through either subtler or grosser parts of the spectrum of experiencing. So what we've been doing a little bit is starting with a physical body, the part of our experience that is the densest, and then linking it and experiencing it with our breath, less dense, more fluidic, more potential, and gradually linking that into our shavasana and our meditation, the finest, the least dense, the least formed, the most potential. So let's begin with the breath. I just want to create a little context so you know where we're dropping into. As we start with our breath, we're starting right in the middle of things. In this, I'll say transition area, but in this bridging area. As breath links our mind, our very fine kind of the things that we do with our awareness, our perception, before it becomes sensory perception. With our material, our cellular, biological body. So as you're staying connected to this breath, start to forming little, it's like tentacles or pathways into remembering and feeling the physical body. Arrange your skull bones over the tip of your tailbone. Letting this breath streams, rivulets, broaden and spread through your core, top to tail, through your torso, to your periphery, to your limbs. And we generally regard the skin as a physical boundary. Of course, if we play with energy, the subtle body, the formless, we know that that extends and it extends and expands and expands. It's just a little bit contingent on the scope of our awareness. Okay. And just to use one more analogy, just to kind of contextualize the subtler work. Whereas we might use a physical pose and gauge the boundary or how far we go or fold or twist or move in a physical pose in asana, there are kind of parameters and similar limits and depths that we go with our awareness. And I'll argue there is a little bit of experience and skill building that seems to go with it, but hey, anything can happen in any moment. So I have to leave the door open. So even if you have that skill of extending and expanding your awareness out into the cosmos, we're just going to wrangle that in and give our physical body the benefit of so many of these movement and breathing and intentional gifts. It's great to go out to the edge of the universe, but ultimately, we're legally responsible for this skin envelope and all the decisions made inside of it. Taking 3 final deep breaths, learning how to expand and extend and feel your breath to the limit of skin. That's still quite a great amount of territory that we have to cover in our time together. And sometimes we want to go all the way to the edge of the cosmos with our awareness. But if we're missing some areas within our body, our calculus, our cosmic calculus, will get translated a little bit with some missing information as we behave it, as we talk it, as we communicate it, as we enact it. So we want to make sure all of our flesh and territory is alive with this feeling, this sensing, this awareness, this perceptivity. So let's start off with some Kapalabhati. If you need to switch the cross of your legs, it's a good time now. And with the feet active, move out of Ujjayi. So just let that throat closure valve technique, just let it relax for a moment. Feel some of those laryngeal strap muscles relax. And then sharp, very punctuated exhales. Aim for the tip, the furthest third of your nostril space. When you're ready, begin. We'll do plenty. As you're doing this, I'm just going to help us map out a little bit of the physical terrain and some of the subtle terrain. So the physical terrain, the physical path this breath movement takes, you'll feel as somewhere in the pit of the belly, the low belly, traveling through the nostrils and out beyond your nostril space, skin space. Aim for the physical air to exit out the tip of your nose. So the space of your nostril furthest from your lip. And the subtle breath, it's been as if derived from the earth through the very base of your core, up, straight up, to the crown of your head. It's almost like there's 2 paths with just a slight difference in these paths. And you can feel the physical path of the breath with your physical body, the belly muscles and the face and the nose and the nose hairs. And you can feel, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe today, the path of the subtle breath from the ground to the crown. Do about 10, maybe 20 more pumps. When we pause, resume your Ujjayi breath. Okay, and notice you have a choice. You can follow and access the physical path of the breath. You can follow and feel and attune to the subtle path of the breath. Or you do have that option of feeling the overlay, feeling both simultaneously. And that might be a bit of a skill building move, but I just want to say it's possible, is there. It may not be accessible just yet, but this is why we practice. All right, we'll do one more round. Kapalabhati, we'll do about 40 to 50 pumps. So let yourself move out of Ujjayi, and then we begin. Okay. Just find out if you can lie your mind across these two tracks or paths that breath moves through simultaneously. Just like we can select a radio station, we can select how to attune and experience through our body. The yogis will call these koshas, sheaths. After about those 40 or so pumps, the counting's not that important. Again, resume your Ujjayi breath. And let's lie on our back. We're going to set up bridge. Have you can bring along a block or two if you need a little supplementary altitude. So with the feet about hip width, inhaling from abdomen to chest, and exhale, kind of gather. It's the muscles where the thigh meet the butt. If you have a tender back or still kind of feeling through the back area, you could push through the balls of your feet and press yourself up into bridge. As you keep those heels suspended, you'll be more apt to get those buttock muscles involved. And then, of course, the butt stays on. The butt stays on as the heels move down. So it's in our bridge, our supported bridge. We're going to do a round of Uddiyana. Go with me on this. Try your best to not anticipate the next thing. Let's just stay together because we're going to deconstruct it a little bit so it's mild, mild, less mild. So anytime you need the buttock muscles to support your back better, just push the heels off the ground. Feel the butt muscles. Keep feeling the butt muscles as you settle the heels back down. So you might need to repeat that a couple of times if your butt's a little sleepy. First, inhaling from abdomen through the chest wall. Our exhale is patient through the nose. Now, keep the butt muscles on as you're getting emptier and emptier. It's tempting to just kind of let everything sag and go passive. Keep the butt muscles in the bridge as you exhale, as you exhale, as you exhale. And once you feel really quite empty, start to draw the belly in softly. It's a little tug. We're going to do them gradually. Just a little tug. Keep the butt. And then soften the belly. Take another breath. If your butt is kind of like, I don't know what to do, just push the heels up. Push through the forefoot. Cause the butt to do something like engage. Keep the butt on as you lower the heels back down. All right, this next round, when you're ready to exhale, just let it be a mild exhale. Can have a little velocity to it. When you get empty, the butt is on, the belly empty. Now draw the belly in a little bit more. Little bit more. The butt is on, breath is out, belly's moving in. And as the belly's moving in, lift or flare the ribs toward the face. It's both. It's a lift, it is a flare. It's a intercostal muscle move. It's the action of inhale, but no breath is moving in yet. And then relax the ribs, relax the belly when you need a breath. And if you've relaxed your butt muscles a little bit, I get it. That's a lot of butt. We're going to do a third round though. So we'll start with the feet. Got to push the heels up. Inhale. And settle the heels down. Mild, maybe swift exhale. You can start to move that out your mouth for more velocity. And the butt muscles are still involved. The belly is kind of emptied out. It's already starting to get suctioned in a little bit. And I'll start to pull and lift the abdomen. The butt is on. The low belly is getting kind of suctioned. And now lift, flare the ribs for additional stretch. Relax the rib muscles, the belly muscles. You've got enough blocks under there, you can relax the butt muscles for a moment. Inhale, press off those blocks, move them off to the side. And exhale, lower the spine down by bringing the upper spine down first, the mid spine down next, the low spine, the sacrum. Remain lying on the ground. We're going to go into frog, lifting through right here. So bring the feet off the ground, knees over hips, separate legs widely, feet active. Inhale, the head, shoulder blades up just a smidge. And exhale, finding those very same location abdominals, the ones by the pubic bone, between the hip bones, below the navel, outreach through the legs, and just like we did a moment ago, finding, pulling, drawing the abdomen down. And then inhale. Into the belly, into the back. Exhale. So practice exhaling with the structure below the navel. It's abdominal structure, it's abdominal back, abdominal pelvic. The tailbone shifts, the legs outreach. And then drawing the belly in and down a little bit more. Okay. And then that gesture of just that softening, slight softening move, letting the belly rebound as you inhale into the back, into the belly. You don't want to let go of the belly all the way because some of that abdominal engagement helps kind of deflect or direct breath to the back. All right, keep going. I think your pace will be better than my pace. If the low back is kind of domed off the ground, lift your shoulder blades up a little bit. It's not about crunching. It's about getting breath specifically into the lower part of our spine, our torso, and our abdomen. So the raising of the elbows and the head and the shoulder is to accomplish that task. It's toward that end. Help us feel that breath in areas of the body that for many of us, not all of us, but for many of us, are subject to a little bit of, we'll say, blind spot, like muted feeling, worthy of more clarifying sensing. So there are some helpful analogies from the physical body that seem to apply in the subtle body, the breath body. And I like this action of capillarization, where maybe the endurance runner, the long distance runner, lots and lots of mileage, starts to develop more capillaries. The need, the ask of the body to bring it more nourishment gets the blood cells pushing on the vascular boundaries and making more networks, kind of nutritive networks. You have this broad capillarization of in the physical body, but we're doing that also with our intentionality in our breath. Maybe the abdomen feels a little muted. I can't feel it all the way, really clearly. So let your breath be like those little nudging blood cells. Let that breath kind of nudge and move and kind of push on that numbness boundary. Eventually, these new breath pathways start to develop. All right. Looks like frog is done unless your screen is stuck. In which case you will look like you're forever doing frog. Straddle. Let's bring the legs up and set widely apart. To involve the legs, start to stretch, straighten, press, whatever the word is for you. Start to reach them out as you're setting them apart. If you just try to drop them apart, you may not like that feeling in your labrum or your back. So involve the feet, the legs, press, reach as you set the legs out widely. They'll be both active and wide. Inhale, head, shoulders, lift them off the ground. Again, just a little bit. As you're using some of that abdominal engagement to dome or redirect breath into the back and into the pelvis. Exhale. Be really specific about exhaling with the low belly muscles. I'm not saying exclusively, just make sure to include them. They're far too powerful and important in our breathing orchestration. And then draw the belly down just to get a little extra spectrum or range or feeling. Inhale, let the tailbone, it almost descends, almost drops to the ground a little bit. Exhale. The head relaxes, the legs move out and out. Pull low belly down. Inhale. Continue. We'll do about 6 more. I'm full of analogies today. Sometimes I just get a little read on something and I just go with it. The nature of the kind of condensing of the body, the way it gathers or condenses or contracts. As we are reaching through these asanas and actively expanding and opening and pushing on these different boundaries, I might imagine something like a scarf or a turtleneck, getting kind of smoothed out a little bit, opened up. So as I'm reaching out through the hips, there might be a little kind of turtleneck condensement around the hip crease. Maybe. I'm just giving examples. So as you're reaching out through the legs, this little fabric, the fabric all around the pelvis, the legs, the inner groin can start to smooth out. And the neck, the actual turtleneck neck, letting the neck kind of smooth and open out. It's not pulling. You don't have to pull. All right, finish the one that you're on. We'll do 3 more. So all these moves we're doing with the intent of expanding, smoothing, softly broadening, extending the range of our sensing, expanding the physical body, reaching it out. Like those little blood cells kind of pushing, nudging on those capillary bed endings, starting to create new little branches. And it's kind of a move we have to do with our mind into something that can feel like the abyss, like there's nothing there. Maybe there is something there. You just haven't felt it yet. All right, when you're through with those, set the head down, help the legs together with your hands. All right, we're going to do two things for this shoulder. So they both will want the wall. Roll to a side and press up from the side. So we're doing shower at the wall on our forearms. If I had a convenient corner, I might just use the corner to keep one of my arms, like giving it a railing. I'm going to show you this way though. So I'm placing my elbows and forearms on the wall, hinging. I'm standing maybe 2.5 feet. I don't know if it's 3 feet. I'm reaching the sit bones back. So I'm making or approximating something like a right angle. I'll do profile so you can see another way. So I get the elbows and forearms. And then folding. And the setup is just like dolphin. The elbows are about shoulder width. Okay. Trying to maintain some distance between my thumbs. I'm just sliding my forearms down. So just like shower, but putting the forearms to the wall. So go ahead and set yourself up and we'll take a number of breaths here. It doesn't have the weight on the shoulders, but it gives us the shape and it gives us a lot of contour to topography to play with. The mechanics are just like shower. You're searching for that little sit back of the hips. And the sit back gives us that feeling of expansion or traction. And we're keeping the forearms connected to the wall. See what we get in within those parameters. And then deepening our breath, letting the breath kind of move through the space of the rib cage and the shoulders. So again, we could extend and expand our awareness out to the cosmos, out to the stars and the planets. But if we're missing sensing around the heart space and in the shoulders, we might be subject to some serious misreads. Right? Our body is this perceptual vehicle. So as you're breathing into the back of the heart, perceive, you're practicing perceiving through the back of the heart. You're practicing perceiving from the back of your heart. And when you feel with your breath to the sides of the heart, into the front of the heart, we're practicing perceiving from the sides of our heart, through the front of our heart. So where do we take our seat? From where do we take our stance? Is it out in the ether, in our idea sphere, or is it right here in this body? I release, press away. All right, same construction, different orientation. Now with our mat, we'll set up dolphin near the wall. possibly leading to up the wall, but we'll find out when we get there. We'll start with the feet on the ground. So heels, few inches near the baseboard. Elbows under the shoulders. Forearms and hands fully grounded. Plant them. Inhaling in and through the back of the heart, the sides of the heart, the front of the heart. And start by exhaling the knees off the ground, just the knees. Keep the feet on the ground for a moment. The shoulders can get adapted. Keep the heels on the keep the feet touching ground for the moment. So here's my hypothesis. I'll save it. Let's just breathe for a moment. Softening through the neck. Pressing with the forearms. So we have two options: to remain grounded or to start to be a little bit more on our forearms. So option one is walking both feet up the wall, hip height, dolphin on the wall. Option two is keep your right foot on the ground and draw, reach, extend your left leg way up the wall. So just the toes or the forefoot touches the wall. Either is great option. The difference is just how much weight you'll bear through your forearms and your shoulders. All right, if you're selecting to have your one foot up the wall, one foot on the ground, switch now. It's halftime. If you've got both feet on the wall, hip height, hang in there, kitten. Keep breathing. So our sensory feeling, sensing, feeling, is just part of our perception. Feeling the pressure, feeling the blood flow, feeling ourselves get warmer, feeling muscles work, feeling things kind of burn out, right? That's part of our perception. Really important part. All right, time to make our way down. Let's step down, easing out of that dolphin. Now let's move into horse stance. So setting up your mat wherever you like. Doesn't need the wall. Holy moly. We're going to get into a few poses on each side. Time flies. So from horse, I've got hands on thighs. Inhale, push with the hands. And we'll twist to our right. So exhaling, press through the left hand. Chest. And feel the difference between your head and your chest. Many of us will turn our head to the right and think that's a chest turning. It may or may not be. Turn the chest to the right. So you get that spiraling through the trunk. Inhale, come back to center. Straighten both legs. And we're moving into triangle, making the left foot the forward foot, the front foot. So turn your left foot to that narrow edge of your mat. Triangle. Inhale the arms out to side. And exhale, reach to that left. Reach the left side ribs. Lengthen and lengthen and lengthen when you can no longer lengthen. So I'm tracking with the left side of the ribs here. Just post, hand on leg bone. Raise the right arm and reach the right arm. Chest turns to your right. Same direction turn. And stacking them together so we get that feeling of this is a chest opening triangle. Post on that left hand on that left leg. Turn to the right. Now, you're a little extra tender in the leg or the knee area. Engage those muscles. Okay. If you're just passively stretching, sometimes that stretch just feels really like, much. Involve those muscles. Get those quadriceps working. It's okay if the leg gets warm. It's okay if the leg works. It's okay if, but that engagement's going to just be a little preservation tool for those. Okay. So part of why we're holding these muscle engagements, holding these poses, some call it isometric, is we're kind of waiting out. In some respects, we're kind of waiting out, letting all the fuel kind of pour out of we'll call them compensations, the ways that we prop ourselves up that aren't deeply and authentically connected to our breath. Okay, so it's really valuable to kind of hang out in these strong, not passive, but like strong poses. All right, extended warrior. Inhale, bend the left knee. Now for me, I need to open up my stance. I'm going to wiggle my back foot out. Okay. Left hand to the ground. Yes, you could use a block. And exhale the right arm overhead. Okay. Now let's make the pose strong. It's not rigid. We're not making rigid. We're involving the muscles, involving them. There is protective advantage. This is nice. We're not going to overstretch. So straight and reach, press out through that right heel. Remember that buttock muscle? It's had plenty of time to relax, so time to turn it back on. Those quadriceps helps you straighten the knee, opening up that back of knee area. Engage that quadricep, reach through the heel as if you're plunging the heel down into sand, getting that whole Achilles and calf and back of knee, extending and expanding. Oh, this is good. Now the pelvis is in a great spot, deep in your breath. Feeling your breath, right side of waist, right side diaphragm, right side ribs, right shoulder blade. Keep holding. Bend that left knee. Go in. Get you some leg muscles. Get you some blood flow in there. Nice. Inhale. Bring that right hand by your right hip. Heel toe your right foot to your left foot. We are coming up to standing. Just heel toe it. You don't have to make a gargantuan leap. Okay. Bring that left leg up. And we're moving into a standing alternate twist here. So left hand to the inside of left foot. Left, left. The tendency is to let the knee kind of buckle out to the side. I want you to use those inner legs. So instead of the buckle drop, tweeze that inner leg. Just let it snuggle up on that arm. Press through the inner leg and ball of foot. And then reach, turn the chest open to your right. Glide the shoulders down. Spread open the heel of the palm, and then spread and open your breath. It's like a range, breath range. Extend, expand the range of breath, and thus feeling, sensing through your body. And again, good. We're getting the momentum here. Okay, we're embodying expansion. Just little drips and drops. Inhale, set the left foot down. And step your right foot back. We're back in horse stance. Forgot about that, right? So hands on thighs. There's another side. Inhale, press with the hands. And this time we're turning our chest to our left. So exhale, right hand press, chest turn left. And just be discerning, did I turn my chin to the left or did my chest turn to the left? You'll feel that as a spinal little twist move. There you go. Sometimes we get both the chest and the head. Just making sure we get the chest, the ribs turning. There you go. Deep in breath. Let that butt kind of hang down. Let the weight. It'll push, shrug the shoulders up. That's true. And extending that range of breath from pelvis to collarbone. All right, inhaling, unwind for triangle. Straighten legs. Turn the right foot right. Straight right. Whatever that's called. Exhale, reach through the right arm, reach through the right ribs. When there's no more reaching forward, I'll post with that right hand on the leg bone. Raise the left. Spread the heel of the palm. And now involve your leg muscles. Involve this right quadricep, straightening the knee. Not locking it. Be really discerning. Kind of gathering the inner leg muscles in, engaging the quadricep, letting that leg work strongly. The left heel, kind of plunge it lower than your mat. Just imagine, feel. It's going to draw on all this tissue around your butt and your hip bone. And then inhaling into the chest. And exhale to keep turning the chest open. Reach with that left hand. Now, when you have all these muscles orchestrated, they're all working, the leg muscles, the butt muscles, the reaching muscles, the spreading out, deepen your breath. We often get a lot of compensatory help from some muscles and places. And sometimes the compensations will start to kind of move in and take over our breath territory. We don't breathe so much over here anymore. And we don't breathe so well in this area. So letting that breath kind of push and nudge through these little compensations or blank spots. Let it kind of seep in, filter in. And from triangle to extended warrior. Inhale, lower the left hand, bend the right knee. I need a little foot arrangement, so I'll wiggle that left foot back. Exhale, left arm reach. Okay. So as you plunge that left heel into the earth, you'll feel that left butt cheek. Remember that? That butt cheek move? And stretching that left arm overhead. As that left arm goes, that whole lat, that whole back, the left back gets a nice expanded moment. I'm breathing right into the places where unturtlenecking, exposing, kind of smoothing open the turtleneck. Little folds, the way our tissue and our mind kind of fold down, like, oh, maybe I don't want to see that. Just kind of starting to open that up. Letting breath ventilate and contact. Contact. This is a high contact game. Warning, contact leads to intimacy and knowing. That's good news. All right, inhale, we'll let the left hand down, heel toe, walk the left foot to the right foot. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Stand. Standing alternate twist. Right hand to right foot. Let this right knee squeeze in a little bit more instead of wagging out. Unwag the knee. Press through the inner part of your leg. Left hand, reach. Okay. When we breathe, sensing, feeling the chest, we're perceiving, we're practicing perceiving from the heart, we're practicing perceiving through the heart. We breathe and feel the abdomen. Now we've got some terrain, some footing. Oh, how do I perceive with my abdomen, through my abdomen, from my abdomen? These are extraordinary sensory areas. Okay. And then bend the right knee, inhale, set the right foot down, step the left foot back into horse stance. I should say wide leg stance, because we're just going to widen out our legs into splits. Okay. So if you're not super warm, you don't have to go super far. Now this might be a little bit contingent on some ankle things. So if you've had ankle or foot injuries, you might just go a certain degree and maybe start to engage the legs there. Some other ways I've done this is I've let my forearms rest higher up on something. So if ankle or foot is an issue, I might gather a little bit more support from a higher up. So I'm here, I've got a chair. Sometimes we're just a funny little trip away from chair yoga, so chair's a great tool. Now keep the legs engaged. Again, not passive splits, but involve the legs. Press through the feet, engage those quadriceps. And now sending breath right into the pelvis, perineum. Okay. Now with your hands, I'm going to place them on the ground, walking softly, setting the butt back. If you feel you're too far away from the ground to walk your butt softly to the ground, just Bring the feet in, have a seat, widen it back out. Sometimes you can do the walking back sit. And in straddle, our last move here, arms in eagle. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, left elbow over right. Linking hands, moving the tops of the shoulders down while lifting the elbows up just a smidge. Inhale, unwind. Reaching arms out or up. Just depends on your environment. We'll do the other side. Exhale, right elbow over left. These final couple breaths in this eagle and straddle, remember those low belly muscles. How useful, how wonderful they are in exhaling, involving, helping us feel, remember what it is to inhabit our pelvis, to perceive from our abdomen and our pelvis. Perception through these different areas of our body affords us little different flavors of consciousness. So let's inhale, unwind the arms. Use your hands, help your legs together. Have a rest. Shavasana. However it is that you're wanting to sit or meditate or rest, just that you're in a position where you're mainly at rest. You can let your limbs, your body weight go. And if we attune, means we choose to feel in a particular way, our physical body, so that our mass, our substance. Imagine a sand timer. When you flip that sand timer, we get this slow trickle, this fine trickle of that particulate matter down, down, and down. And feel the body grow softer in order to allow the particle to trickle down, just like a sand timer. So you're letting the particles go. And you're letting the water go. How do you let your fluids go? You might attune to the fluids of your body. You might attune to your breath. I find that attuning to the fluids of our biology, like our interstitial fluids, our blood, our lymph, our cerebral spinal fluid, that it helps us understand the fluid nature of our body, our subtle body. And then just with a few more breaths, this will be brief, locating a spot. Right after exhale, just before inhale. It might be really small, almost indiscernible, but that's a really sweet place to peek in, to attune to a quality of stillness. It's the quietest movement in the body. You might just get a little micro glimpse of it at a time. All right, so when you're ready, bend knees, turn to a side, use both hands, press to seated. Namaste.